cheers up, you bother. Just
stack on the middle.
Where are you going?
I'm going to sit back here. Over here. And I'll sit on the inside.
You can sit on the inside.
Yes, I want to sit on the
Right. That's a good photo. There she is.
Different. vanishing point along that time. Three speed. We had fun.
Beyond the rainbow's end, there lies the land of love and light, where shadows never dim the skies, for there is no night. And though the loss is hard to bear, of a loved one, of a friend, we know that we shall find them there, beyond the rainbow's end. Good morning, everyone. I would like to extend a welcome to you all. Today we come together to honour and celebrate the life of Lorraine Turner, loving and much loved wife of Ken, deceased. Lorraine was adored mum to Tony and Linda, Greg, Kerry and Debbie, Kim and Kevin, and friend to Jen. Lorraine took great pride in being nanny to her beautiful grandchildren, Adam and Michelle, Jolene and Philippa, Casey, Jackson and Julie, and Emily. She was dearly loved by her 11 great-grandchildren and treasured auntie to her nieces and nephews. As a group of family and friends, it is heartwarming to see you here this morning. Your presence is an expression of your love and friendship, and I know that it means the world to the family that you've been able to be here to help celebrate Lorraine's life. So on behalf of the family, I would like to extend a sincere thank you for your attendance as we bid her a final farewell. At this stage of the service, I would also like to welcome those watching via the live streaming service and thank them for their attendance. And for those who may not have already done so, can I ask that you please turn your phones off or switch them to silent as a mark of respect for Lorraine. Although you're all here to celebrate and honour Lorraine's life, it is important to also acknowledge loss and sadness. And one of the most important factors in healing from loss is having the support of other people. Before we continue, as noted in the service booklet, I would like to share that following the graveside service across the road at Merseyvale Cemetery, you are all invited to the garden lounge next door for some refreshments where you can share your memories and support each other. My name is Catherine Campbell, and after spending time with Greg, Kerry, Kim and Kevin on Saturday afternoon, it is my privilege today to play a small part in honouring Lorraine's life. This morning's service will be an opportunity for reflection, gratitude and remembrance. And it is timely to let you all know that this service will be reflective of Lorraine's wishes. She was a very organised, no-fuss lady who had let her thoughts and feelings be known in relation to her final wishes, often starting a sentence with, "When I pass away." So today, as we turn the page in the book of life, we also extend our heartfelt sympathy to Lorraine, who is mourning the loss of her much-loved sister. As we will soon discover, Lorraine had a real passion for writing and poetry. In a few moments, I will be sharing the eulogy, which has been developed using Lorraine's own information and memories that she has recorded herself. I will then invite some family members to come forward to share their memories, as well as one of Lorraine's poems. So as some of you may be aware, Lorraine had experienced a significant decline in health, and as a result was admitted to the Mersey on the 6th of December. At 89 years of age, Greg, Kerry, Kim and Kevin agreed that Lorraine was tired and weary. On New Year's Eve, Lorraine passed away peacefully, knowing that she was loved, truly and deeply. So at this stage of the service, I have been asked by the family to extend a heartfelt thank you to Dr. Tan and the care team at the Mersey. They did everything possible to ensure that Lorraine was comfortable and pain-free in her final days. The family would also like to thank everyone who visited, sent well wishes and flowers throughout Lorraine's 3 weeks in hospital prior to her passing. Your kindness and support were very much appreciated. It is quite remarkable that when Lorraine set out to document the story of her life, that she left out one of her greatest passions, the love of writing. Today, as we gather to honour her, we are privileged to weave into this service her many stories, poems and reflections. So this morning we will be honouring Lorraine's life through her own words. Lorraine began putting pen to paper in 1995, and as a result, her words are more than just memories. They are treasured gifts that hold her spirit, wisdom, warmth and humour. Throughout this service, we will share several of Lorraine's writings, allowing her voice to guide us and celebrate the legacy she leaves behind. Through her writings, the creativity, expressions and memories will live on. So Lorraine Peck was born on the 3rd of April 1936 in Watford. She was the 4th child of Walter and Daisy May. Her brothers and sisters were Valerie, who passed away as an infant, Raymond, Leona, Arthur, and Desmond. Lorraine recalled living in a cottage on a small hill at Tina Road, just outside of Longford. Some of you may recall that this section of road was known as the Flying Mile, referring to the part of the race circuit around the town where many famous race drivers, including Jack Brabham, raced in 1960. Her family rented the cottage from a Mr. Mason, and her dad roved around the area as a farmhand. She recalled that he rode a bike everywhere until he bought a Harley Davidson. Lorraine wrote that as kids they played it along Katina Road, getting up to all sorts of mischief, playing around the paddocks. They particularly enjoyed summer, watching the farmers cutting the grass and laying the hay. She wrote that one of her favourite games was playing cowboys and Indians. She was, as she admitted in later years, a real tomboy. Lorraine's mum used to do a lot of cooking in a wood stove inside a shed across from the main cottage, and she vividly remembered eating dark red plums from the tree from that garden. Lorraine recalled that she had 2 scars on her head. One was from a hook attached to a chain, and the other from a wheel of a bike that her brothers had run down a hill. She didn't elaborate on how the injuries occurred, but we can imagine that they were making their own fun, which is a term that we hear on many occasions. As the cottage had no electricity, the family used a lot of kerosene lamps at night, and she went on to recall that one occasion she accidentally drank some kerosene, so we can only assume that she thought that was water. From Lorraine's memories, it would appear that the family, as with most families of the day, had a milking cow. She would be with her mum as she milked the cow by hand, and then she would watch with great interest as her mum made the butter. Any leftover milk would be sold in milk cans. Now her dad joined the army and served in World War II. Lorraine recalled him coming home to visit after being granted some leave, but went on to write that that was the last time that she would see him. Her lines was tinged with sadness, recalling that she couldn't remember him much. Lorraine's dad died fighting the Japanese during the conflict in Timor. He was initially listed as missing in action, possibly a prisoner of war. However, later, first-hand accounts confirmed that he had died in February 1942 at the age of 32. Lorraine was just 5 years of age. Life for the Pecks changed forever. After the war, the family moved to a cottage down the road. It had 2 bedrooms and electricity, and boy did that make a difference. The siblings went to the Longford State School, and they had to walk about a mile to an old schoolhouse to catch the bus which took them the rest of the way. They visited the King family a lot and always played with the children. Lorraine recalled that Mrs. King was always feeding them. It appeared that a favourite pastime was tearing down the hills on wooden carts. Lorraine's mum ended up getting a horse and cart. She got the horse from Mr. Trinder, but it was an ex-trotter and he used to think he was a race. They called him Pride, but he used to get spooked easy, and one time they were coming into Longford. Pride, after becoming spooked, took off too fast when going across a bridge. The cart wheel clipped the bridge, and Daisy was thrown out of the cart and ended up with broken ribs. The kids were in the cart, but luckily a few guys up the road was able to catch them and calm Pride down. Lorraine wrote that they were very lucky that none of them were hurt. She then added that her mum eventually sold that horse. Sometimes the Kings would take them out in the horse and cart, and when Daisy went with Mrs. King to Launceston, they would leave the horse in the stables behind the Queen of Arms Hotel. Now the river wasn't far away, and they used to walk down for a swim or a fish. Lorraine couldn't swim, so she just carried around in the shallow part. She fell in a few times from pulling on tree branches or not getting out during the floods. And one time, Lorraine and her had to climb a tree, a willow tree, and she remembered that her socks were floating away. And when Daisy came to fetch them, she had to get Mr. Roy Cox and his son Basil to rescue them in a boat while their brothers were watching them. As they got older, the kids got bikes to ride to school instead of the bus, unless it was raining. They also rode their bikes into Longford to the cinema to see movies, and they didn't mind riding home in the dark. They had torches, and there wasn't much traffic on the road. Lorraine wrote that she enjoyed English at school and playing football. They lived next door to a big paddock where they all played cricket and hide and seek. Now Daisy eventually met and married Ruby Britton, and Lorraine went on to welcome her two new brothers, Robin and Terry, into the family. When Lorraine was 15, her mum took her to the Launceston General Hospital to get a job on the wards as a waitress, delivering the meals to the patients. That was where she met Vaudeville, and that's where their friendship started. More on that a little later in the service. Now they used to go to the dances at the Albert Hall, and it was there where she met Ken and Turn. Her best friend Rhonda teamed up with Ken's brother Robbie, and Rhonda and Robbie eventually married. Lorraine and Ken were married on the 6th of June 1953 at St George's Church in Launceston, and set up home in the Launceston suburb of Mayfield. Their first son, Anthony, was born prematurely but safe in August that year, and they went on to welcome Greg in 1955 and Kerry in 1956. Now Lorraine wrote about the devastating loss of her youngest brother Desmond in 1959. He was only 17 and he died while working at the train station railroad car. It was a time that none of them ever forgot. 1959 was also the year the family moved to the train. They started a new life on Dooley's Hill, and in 1965 Lorraine and Ken brought their daughter Kim into the family. They later moved to Hamilton Street, and Lorraine started cleaning in some doctors' houses for a few years. In 1973, Lorraine started working in the kitchen at the Mersey. She was very proud to be a pink lady. She worked from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. delivering meals to the patients on medical ward list. And in 1989, she secured a permanent position on the children's ward until her retirement in 1995. In 1984, they had moved to 1 Gilbert Street, and Lorraine would have the one thing she'd always wanted, a big garden. And that's what she had. She enjoyed many hours out in that garden, writing that she'd be rather in the garden than doing housework. As Lorraine reflected, she had many highlights in her life, including her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren. She enjoyed camping with Ken at the East Coast and travelling to places with her family and friends. Going to the UK with Greg was a big adventure and one thing she always wanted to do. After Ken passed away in 2002, Lorraine found the garden was getting hard, so the boys helped her with mowing and pruning until she moved up the road to a council unit. She still managed to have a garden, not as big, but was still able to enjoy her veggies and flowers. So as we gather to honour Lorraine's life, it is fitting to pause and reflect on her vibrant spirit and enduring humour that shines through her poetry, especially the one I'm about to share. It's titled, Just Because I'm in My 80s. In these lines, Lorraine reveals her boundless energy, sense of fun and determination to live life on her own terms. Her words speak of resilience, independence and a zest for adventure. So through this poem we catch a glimpse of her warmth, her humour and her refusal to let her age define her. She wrote, "Just because I'm in my 80s doesn't mean I'm past my prime. I can still keep up to you young ones. Who would have guessed I'd reach 80 and more? I can clean up all your gardens and move all the junk with ease, grow my own veggies, that is just a breeze. stay out all night and come home real late. No curfew for me and my special date. I can visit the men's shed and help them make toys, or just go there and annoy the boys. Get out in my car and do donuts at the bluff. That will definitely get the police in a huff. They might try to arrest me, but be aware. I could tell them, "Officer, I'm in my 80s and I don't remember being there." Gambling or drinking my money away, no need to keep it for a rainy day. So I'll have the time of my life. Never been that way before. I could go live in a van and try and see a lot more. So I would now like to invite the family members to come forward.
Springtime, and we need a bit of support, so we've got some background. I have a few stories about Nan. They entail stealing bouquets at weddings, jumping better than any 20-year-old I've seen, teaching John and I the variety of games that you can create with a good Hills voice, how to bet on the races, and also how to have a pretty good hand photo. More recently, she's hidden all kinds of things at Dad's house that she's been thinking you about. It's included crockery, glassware, and planting flowers, and pumpkins, and where she found a little secret spot, which didn't stay very secret. As well as naming all of her possessions with the allocated beneficiary for when she died. We've all been looking under every jar and vase. One time when I was asked to pick some sweet pea as a child, I returned the sweetest green peas I could find to a very confused Nana who was expecting a little bit more colour in the basket. She loved her garden. The fond memory is called Springtime in My Garden. Spring is my favourite time of year. Flowers are out.
Spring is my favourite time of year. Flowers are out, fruit trees in blossom everywhere. Camellias, azaleas, rhododendrons. She was worried she was going to start that one. All out in flower, everything is lovely and green after a spring shower. Lilacs sway in the breeze, buds of mauve appearing soon. A large magnolia tree has been out in bloom. Weeping willow branches are hanging down to the ground. Summer birds flying in and out, making a lovely sound. All the roses come to their life, their buds and leaves all new. Can't wait to see them all out again. Yellow, reds, whites, and lilac blue. I crossed a rose years ago, named it after my mother, Daisy May. I have still yet to get a rose called Lorraine Lee, not named after me. Around my garden bed, a row of sweet peas and stand straight and tall, entwined around a wall of wire, waiting for birds to call. Brooms of yellow, creams and weeping whites with branches spread, next to a petunia hedge with leaves so red. Lily of valley, so sweet to smell, like growing in the shade. There's so many flowers and plants in our garden, too many to name. Grapevines, kiwi fruit, what a treat to eat, so good for you. Christmas lilies will be out for Christmas, which will be here soon. The only other story I think I had to share was just the fact that if I could describe Nana in one word, it would be rat bag. She had a knack for teaching us all sorts of life skills. I remember when I was learning to drive, she took me for a drive in the Festiva, and we came along River Road. We were heading down towards East Devonport. She said to me, "Just turn right at the lights, let's go back up the highway." And I said, "Well, Nana, I've never done that before." And she just laughed at me. She goes, "Well, I don't know what to do." But we got there, we didn't crash the car, and we managed to make it around. But most of my memories growing up were down at 1 Gilbert Street, eating all the fruits and veggies and getting in trouble for clearing out the Green Gate Street. It was the best, and we'll miss you now.
Well done, everyone. Lorraine was a wonderful man, and her love and encouragement meant everything to her grandkids. She was always there cheering them on. She had a knack for making each grandchild feel special, taking the time to listen to their stories, offer advice and share a laugh. Her unwavering faith in their abilities helped them to grow into the people they are today. As the girls have just confirmed, Lorraine will always hold a special place in her grandchildren's hearts. The special times they spent together created memories that will last a lifetime. So ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to invite you to take a few moments of reflection as you watch the photo tribute.
Through
At the end of life, we often pause to reflect on the journey we've taken. Today, the family have asked me to speak not just of Lorraine's life, but also of the bond and strong friendship she shared with her best friend and sister-in-law Vonda, who passed away about 10 months ago. Lorraine and Vonda were very close for over 70 years. They were brought together by work, but their relationship was like that of sisters, marked by mutual respect, warmth and loyalty. They stood by each other through life's joys and challenges, providing support and comfort along the way. They shared many chapters, raising families, celebrating good times and supporting each other through sadness. Their friendship was a genuine connection, offering encouragement and understanding throughout their lives. While saying goodbye is never easy, the family take comfort in knowing that Lorraine and Vonda are together again. As we remember Lorraine, we also honour the special bond she shared with Vonda, a friendship that was deeply treasured by both ladies. There were many things that brought joy to Lorraine's life. She loved her garden. Springtime was her favourite time of the year. The rainbow of colours and bird song made her smile. She played darts with Ken at Mackey's and played both indoor and outdoor golf with Latrobe. She was an active member of the Latrobe Senior Sits and enjoyed helping out wherever needed. She made lifelong friends working at the Mersey. She followed the Adelaide Pros and enjoyed watching the tennis on TV. She had a great sense of humour and was keen to remind the kids that, for the majority, she knew best. She would always speak her mind and say what she thought you needed to hear. She had no filter and no big pardons, and as Greg reminded the others on Saturday, quick with the discipline. She was devoted to her children, grandkids, and was extremely proud to welcome great-grandchildren into the world. But, above all, as Cactus shared, she was a good mum. She was the family matriarch, and the world is poorer for her passing. Before we continue, I would like to share another of Lorraine's poems, one that beautifully captures her memory of childhood and the spirit that shaped her. Earlier we spoke about Lorraine's resilience and the humble beginnings that forged her strong character. Through her own words in this poem, she invites us into her world, painting a vivid picture of growing up in the country, facing challenges with gratitude and cherishing simple joys. As we reflect on her legacy, let's listen to Lorraine's recollections and appreciate the wisdom, warmth and humour found in her poetry. How the times are changing. When I was young and free, we weren't scared to play outside in the dark. We lived in the country, never had to lock our door to keep out the bad people. We had no next door neighbours to wonder why when we began to yell and scream. Our father went to war, so our mother brought us up alone. No help from welfare, she struggled on her own. Never had many toys to play with, played cowboys and Indians in the scrub. 5 of us children took turns to have a bath in the old tin tub. Cooked on an old wood stove, no electrical appliances to use, candles to see by at night, and kerosene lamps to burn. Mother milked the cow, so we had fresh milk, homemade butter and cream. We trapped a rabbit to bake when times were very lean. Never had many Christmas presents, but never seemed to care. What we got we were grateful for, as we had to share. We loved to play cricket in the paddock and fish and swim in the river, go to the pitches in a horse and cart. No fines for speeding when the horse went well hill for leather. Our father never came back from the war to know how we coped alone. I reckon he would have been proud of Mum and to see how we have grown. There were others worse off than us, so we had nothing to moan about. We got by with no phone or TV. We had the radio to keep us happy, no doubt. I enjoyed our bread and milk and didn't mind the odd bread and dripping. But you may think that might be quite funny. But what I really did hate going to at night time was the outside pain. I'm sure you would all agree that these words certainly provided insight into how Lorraine grew into such a resilient and strong lady. So ladies and gentlemen, as this part of the service concludes, I would once again like to thank you all for coming this morning to Lorraine's celebration of life, and thank you for your kind words of sympathy. I know that they have been greatly appreciated. On behalf of the family, I would like to thank Steve and the team at copywrite for their kindness and compassion as they initially took Lorraine into their care and for supporting the family in this very sad and difficult time. I would now like to invite you to listen to one of Lorraine's favourite songs as she is taken back into the care of copywrite for her final journey.